Music is your DNA. It's your purpose, your motivator, your catalyst. My name is alexj, and I'll be your tour guide onto the journey towards your new professional music career. Join me as we uncover the music industry's secrets. From creative concepts to business and marketing, here are the keys to the next level. Welcome to the Music Chop Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs, cats, and everybody in between, welcome back to another yet episode of the Music Chop Shop podcast, where we break down the music industry one slice at a time. I'm so glad to be back with you guys, and if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome to your favorite podcast episode ever made. I hope so. And if you're tuning in via any of the major streaming platforms like Spotify or iTunes, want to give you a warm welcome. If you're watching us via YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And we're also going to have an available written version of the podcast through our medium.com blog. Today, we're going to talk about a very interesting subject, and it is, where do we draw the line between being a musician and being a businessman? And how we can create a hybrid approach so we can do both effectively. Okay, this is a very important core concept that we need to develop. The problem with most people that are doing music, especially when they're starting out or they're beginning their journey as a professional, is that they don't have a real plan. They don't know the blueprint. They don't know what are the steps to take an idea and turn it into a reality. So basically deploy the vision that they have, not only for music, but the creative concept. So the look and feel, the visuals, the music, and kind of like the core concept of the artistry that you're trying to put together and portray to the world. Because it is very, very, very hard for people in a sit down to understand your concept. So the goal here is whatever they see from you, whether it's listening to your music in a streaming platform, or they're looking at your music video, or even they're looking at a photograph of you, or just a still photography, you want them to get you and to understand what you're trying to portray. And I think that's very important. The earlier you think about it, the better. And really the best way to do that is by having an organized plan. And in order to effectively perform a lot of these tasks, you need a lot of people to help you because there's so many moving parts that you need a team. And that being said, a team and people that really know what they're doing, they can really do an amazing job at what they're really special at, costs money, right? And if you want to produce money, you want to be a professional because it's part of being in the music business, right? A lot of people, they forget that they're in business, even as musicians or performers, right? In order to do that efficiently, you need to have a plan and you need to have a blueprint or some kind of map to follow, right? So if you're really, really creative and you're focusing only on the creative aspect of music making, that's really great. But then you have to get together with people who can help you on the business side. The downside of that is that you rely on them and their timing. So my biggest suggestion for you, if you want to be a professional musician, composer, performer, is learn the most you can about the music business, every facet of it, so that when you're delegating, you know what to expect, right? So if you have a manager or you have a tour manager or you have a designer that's helping you out with a website or a photographer, it's more like a friendship and bi-directional relationship when it comes to the creative art direction and the direction of your business. Because if not, people will make choices for you that you don't like. And sometimes artists find out late about this and they kind of like, oh my God, but I didn't know. But that's literally on you. You know, it's your job as a music maker to, you know, be very savvy with your business skills. Especially nowadays that we're in a time where a lot of people are doing like the DIY route and you need to create buzz on your own. And there's so many moving parts that you really want to be organized with your stuff. And, you know, making great music, it's not going to cut it anymore. There's just so much so much good music, so many good artists out there that it's hard to cut through the clutter. And the only way that you can do that is getting organized and being about your business. That being said, a lot of people are afraid to be, clear with their business because they think that people are not going to engage with them because looking at contracts are scary or something like that. And it kind of has the opposite effect. Think about when you're starting out. A lot of people are not going to take you seriously if you don't do things right. Maybe the people that are really starting out and that want everything for free and are extra cheap, they're going to think like, okay, you're cool in the group. But, if you're expecting something from somebody, you want full commitment. So if I want to, get a mix done, I can't expect if somebody's doing it for free that I can have it tomorrow and it's perfect the way I like it, If they obviously charge me for their time and they're putting themselves out there to exclusively meet my needs, I can expect that to happen. So don't expect real results that are fantastic unless you're being professional about your own operation, okay? A lot of people, the other side of that is people won't take you seriously if you're not about your business. See, you need to there's a fine line between being the creative person and that business person, because also if you're too much about your business and you're overly aggressive, then people will definitely shy off you. So you don't want to be also overtly aggressive. You want to have a balance where you're a human being. I think a lot of the things that in the music industry especially are very easy to talk about and to navigate and negotiate. But you need to think about that you're talking with human beings, people who have feelings, who have a certain way of doing things, and we live in a society that kind of values certain things over the other. And it's your job as a performer, as a music maker, to kind of validate yourself for other people. Don't think because you do cool things that everybody knows who you are or that they should know who you are. Treat it as you're meeting someone for the first time every time, and consistently show up to everything that you got to do. And it is hard. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of moving parts, but a big part of your success as a music maker is being able to, one, show up consistently, be afraid to fail, because you will fail many, many times, and don't act like you know everything, because you don't. Nobody knows everything, and the learning never stops. So it's your job to always be really hungry about information and really proactive, and people love people who win and people who are curious. So try to keep yourself honest and try to keep yourself humble, but never lose your hustle. The more you scale in the ladder of success, the more you're gonna need to be clear and transparent, because that's the only way that I firsthand have experienced my own success, and I see the very successful people I've had the privilege to work with. Everybody's really just hardworking, transparent, and they're about people. So it's really important that, going back to the base of the conversation, to have a real clear idea on at least in the beginning, the initial structure or the initial blueprint of the steps you need to take in order to go from point A to point B, right? And that only comes by doing. And so let's say if your goal is to do your first major launch, right, of an EP or an album, you gotta set up small goals like, okay, I need to complete my record, then I need to promote and market my record, and then I need to do a rinse and repeat method until I do several songs. Just by doing that, you're gonna learn that you need help in different ways, because you might be really good at the creative side of things, and like, oh, okay, I created the music, but now I need marketing help. Okay, and who's gonna do that? What vehicles do I utilize? What avenues do I take? And how am I gonna pay for this? Right? That's where the business side comes. Not only for paying for things, but if you're, at some point you're gonna have to deal with publishing. You need to deal with paying people. Let's say if you have a band and you have rehearsals and you need to pay them, you need to pay for studio time, you need to pay for rehearsal spaces. it has to be organized, because it's very easy to just spend money and lose money if you're not organized. So, you know, that being said, you got to deal with, you know, having a company, even if it's on your own name or a corporation. You need to have a publishing company so you can administer your own publishing rights. You need to have your accounting on point. You know, there's so many things on the financial and managerial side of things that you got to have together, that if you don't know them, at least first get educated and get an awareness of what you need. And if you don't know, ask people. You know, ask people that know and that have been through this. And because you know, there's so many levels to this. Don't think that just because the people are up there that you can't reach them. There's so many people in between. So try to look. If you don't know where to start, just try to look for people who are 2 or 3 steps ahead of you, locally, right? That can give you some intel, some information about. Look, I admire what you do, and I need help. How can I get to this level? Or I want to do my first launch. You know, there's a lot of value in that stuff, right? So, yeah. If you don't know something, ask for it. Okay, it's very important. So, that being said, you know, don't be too much of a creator or too much of a businessman. Always go with you know, with the right intentions in mind. You know, be creative, be about your music, but also be mindful of your time. Be mindful that things cost money. Don't waste anybody's time either. Treat it seriously, because, you know, if you're going to treat your music seriously, also treat your time and your business skills seriously. You know, a lot of people will really appreciate that. Don't be afraid to get into contracts, because contracts create engagement and they create a degree of seriousness and commitment to you, and vice versa. So, yeah, just be about your business while you're navigating through your art. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Want to keep it short and sweet. We'll gonna keep grinding at these little concepts, and I think they're really important for your development as a music maker. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw some comments on YouTube, or visit our brand new resource page. It's finally done. Thank you guys, because for the patience, because we've been just publishing stuff, and it's been kind of hard putting one together, but now it's there. There's some free resources finally, some really cool synths that I put up last week. Feel free to check it out. This page lives at musicmastermind.com/resources. You're not only going to find free resources for your development as a music maker, but you're also going to find recaps of every episode, both the video and the podcast version of it. So you can, even if you are lost, it's like, man, I heard about this episode, which was really cool, or they mentioned this in another episode, you're going to be able to browse through the entire list. You're also going to have a window onto musicmastermind.tv, which is our amazing membership platform, where you're going to see a lot of content relating to artist development and everything in between. So that being said, I want to see you next Friday. I'm going to sign off here. Love you. Have a great weekend. See you soon. Peace.